When people hear the name Carmen Dell'Orefice, they often think of timeless elegance, striking beauty, and an extraordinary career in fashion. But what truly makes her story so fascinating isn't just her glamorous looks or her status as the world's oldest working supermodel. It's the fact that, even at 92 years old, Carmen continues to look younger, move with grace, and radiate energy in a way that defies the usual expectations of aging. To many, she seems decades younger than her years, so much so that people often compare her to women in their 50s. Why does this matter? Because Carmen represents something much larger than herself. She is proof that aging doesn't have to mean decline, invisibility, or the end of beauty. Instead, aging can be a chapter of empowerment, vibrancy, and even reinvention. In a society that often equates youth with value, Carmen stands as a living reminder that elegance, strength, and health are not limited by age. For seniors watching her story, she offers hope and inspiration. If she can thrive at 92, so can you. But how is it possible for someone to age so gracefully? Is it all genetics, or is there more behind the scenes? Science gives us an important clue. While genetics play a role in how we age, studies suggest that lifestyle factors, things like nutrition, movement, mindset, and self-care, account for up to 70 to 80% of how well we age. In other words, while Carmen may have inherited good genes, her daily choices, habits, and mindset are what allow her to keep looking and feeling vibrant. This means that aging beautifully is not some magical gift reserved for a select few. It's something that ordinary people can also nurture. The way you live day by day adds up over the decades, shaping how you look and feel in later life. And that's where Carmen's story becomes so relatable. She is glamorous, yes, but many of the principles behind her longevity and youthful appearance are simple, practical, and available to everyone. Let's imagine a scenario. Picture two women, both turning 60. The first accepts the stereotype that aging means slowing down, so she gives up her active lifestyle, starts eating for convenience rather than nourishment, and believes that wrinkles and fatigue are simply her new normal. The second woman chooses a different path. She walks daily, stays curious about the world, protects her skin from the sun, and surrounds herself with positive influences. 10 years later, the first feels drained and looks older than her years, while the second is glowing, strong, and engaged with life. The striking difference doesn't come from luck or privilege alone. It comes from consistent choices. Carmen, through her lifestyle, embodies the second path. And here's where it becomes encouraging. You don't have to be a fashion icon to age well. You don't need magazine covers or professional stylists. What you do need is the mindset that how you treat yourself matters, no matter your age. Science confirms that the human body is remarkably adaptable, even later in life. Muscles can grow stronger with exercise at 80. Skin health can improve with hydration and care. Memory and mental sharpness can strengthen with learning and practice. Emotional resilience can deepen through gratitude, kindness, and mindfulness. Carmen's life teaches us that aging is not just about appearance, it's about presence. She walks into a room and commands attention, not just because of her looks but because of her posture, confidence, and spark. That is the kind of youthfulness that anyone can cultivate. It doesn't come from denying age but from embracing it with pride and care. She also shows us that aging can be a conscious process, not just a passive one. You may not control every wrinkle or every strand of grey hair, but you do control your spirit and how you carry yourself. And often, it is that inner spark that makes someone appear youthful or old. A person with a lively mind, a straight posture, and an engaged heart will always seem younger than someone who has given up on themselves. This is why Carmen's story matters for every generation, but especially for seniors. She proves that life after 60, 70, 80, or even 90 doesn't have to be about decline. It can be about growth, beauty, and purpose. Aging gracefully is not about stopping time, it's about making time work for you. If there's one thing Carmen Dell'Orefice proves to the world, it's that consistent self-care is not vanity, it's vitality. Her appearance at 92 isn't just a result of luck or fortune, it's the product of decades of paying attention to her body, her skin, and her overall well-being. While many people think of self-care as something optional or superficial, Carmen demonstrates that it's a daily investment in health, confidence, and longevity. So, what does self-care really mean? It's not just expensive spa treatments or luxury products. At its core, self-care is about the small, repeatable habits that nourish your body and mind. Carmen often emphasizes routines, rituals she has carried with her through the years, that keep her strong, centered, and radiant. And here's the encouraging part. Most of these habits are accessible to anyone, regardless of age or lifestyle. One of the pillars of her self-care is skin health. Having worked in fashion since her teens, Carmen grew up under bright lights and heavy makeup. She learned early on that skin needed protection and recovery. Over the decades, she developed a routine that prioritized cleansing, moisturizing, and protecting her skin from sun damage. Today, dermatologists confirm that consistent skincare, especially sun protection, is one of the most powerful ways to keep skin looking youthful. For seniors, it's never too late to start. Even a simple habit like applying moisturizer daily can improve skin elasticity and brightness, while sunscreen can prevent further damage and keep skin healthier long-term. But self-care for Carmen is not just about the surface. She also understands the importance of movement. Though she may not run marathons, she makes sure to stay active. Walking, stretching, and practicing gentle body awareness have kept her posture straight and her body flexible. Think about it. One of the quickest signs of aging is losing balance or slouching posture. By prioritizing movement, Carmen projects youthfulness without trying to appear younger than she is. She shows that standing tall, literally, makes you appear decades younger. Science backs this up. Regular movement strengthens muscles, keeps joints flexible, and improves circulation, all of which give the body vitality at any age. Nutrition also plays a role. While Carmen has never been extreme about diets, she focuses on balance. She chooses foods that nourish rather than deplete, opting for wholesome meals instead of quick fixes. Modern research confirms that a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fat supports not only a youthful body but also sharp brain health. For seniors especially, nutrition is the fuel that sustains independence and energy. You don't need to eat like a celebrity model to benefit. Simply prioritizing water, colorful vegetables, and smaller portions of processed foods can transform energy levels and appearance. Perhaps one of the most overlooked aspects of Carmen's self-care is her relationship with rest. In an industry that demands long hours and constant travel, she learned the hard way that burnout steals both beauty and joy. She values sleep and recovery, knowing that the body does its deepest repair work during rest. Seniors often struggle with sleep, but adopting calming nighttime rituals, like reading, light stretching, or listening to soothing music, can dramatically improve rest. Better sleep translates to brighter skin, sharper memory, and more balanced moods. Carmen also prioritizes mental self-care. She has faced financial hardships, personal losses, and health challenges throughout her long life. Instead of allowing them to define her, she cultivated resilience and self-respect. For her, self-care includes choosing environments and relationships that nourish rather than drain. She surrounds herself with people and projects that give her purpose and joy. This mental boundary setting is just as important as skincare or exercise. It keeps her spirit vibrant and her outlook hopeful. Here's where this becomes relatable. Carmen's self-care isn't a secret formula locked away for the elite. It's a mindset of consistency. The cream she applies every night, the walk she takes each morning, the meals she chooses, the people she keeps close. These are small choices, but compounded over decades, they've produced extraordinary results. The takeaway is simple. If you treat your body and mind with respect each day, they will thank you with strength and vitality later in life. For seniors watching her example, the message is powerful. You don't need to look like a supermodel to practice meaningful self-care. You just need to start with what you can do today. Wash your face and moisturize. Take a 10-minute walk. Drink a glass of water instead of soda. Choose to rest instead of pushing through exhaustion. Each of these choices adds a layer of resilience, energy, and grace. Carmen's radiant self-care reminds us of a truth we often forget. The body responds to kindness, no matter the age. It's never too late to create rituals that nourish. And when you begin to practice them, you'll find that caring for yourself isn't selfish. It's the very foundation of strength. If self-care forms the foundation of Carmen Dell'Orefice longevity, then mindset is the structure that rises above it. Carmen's story is not simply about beauty. It's about resilience, adaptability, and the willingness to reinvent herself time and again. What truly sets her apart from so many others is her ability to embrace change instead of resisting it. This mindset has not only sustained her career for decades but also kept her spirit young. Life has not always been kind to Carmen. She began modeling at just 13 years old, stepping into a competitive and unforgiving industry. Over the years, she endured financial instability, broken relationships, and even health challenges. Many would have given up or become bitter. But Carmen chose another path. She adapted. She reinvented herself at each stage of life, refusing to let setbacks define her. This adaptability is one of the biggest reasons she remains vibrant at 92. Psychologists call this a growth mindset. It's the belief that challenges are opportunities to learn, not proof of failure. People with a growth mindset don't crumble when they face obstacles. They see them as part of the journey. Carmen embodies this mindset perfectly. Each time life threw her off balance, she looked for ways to regain her footing. And with each reinvention, she discovered not only new opportunities but also new dimensions of herself. This mindset is deeply connected to the science of neuroplasticity. When you choose to embrace challenges rather than fear them, your brain literally creates new pathways. You train yourself to respond with creativity and problem-solving instead of stress and despair. Over time, this makes you mentally stronger and more adaptable. Just like a muscle grows with resistance training, the brain grows stronger through challenges. Carmen's longevity is proof that this mental workout pays off. Let's look at a relatable example. Imagine two people facing retirement. One sees it as the end of their usefulness. They stop seeking new experiences, let boredom creep in, and gradually lose vitality. The other sees retirement as a new beginning. They explore hobbies, volunteer, travel, or even start small businesses. They adapt, learn, and grow. 10 years later, the first looks and feels much older than their years, while the second is thriving. The difference lies not in circumstances but in mindset. Carmen is a real-life example of the second path. Another important part of her mindset is curiosity. Carmen never allowed herself to stop learning. Whether it was staying connected to fashion trends, experimenting with new roles, or simply remaining engaged with people of all ages, she maintained a childlike curiosity about the world. Curiosity keeps the brain sharp. Studies show that people who remain curious into older age maintain better cognitive health and a greater sense of purpose. When you ask questions, explore new ideas, and stay open to possibility, you keep your brain young. Carmen also demonstrates the power of self-belief. She has said many times that she never saw herself as a victim of aging. Instead, she embraced it as part of her identity. By doing so, she didn't fight against the years, she walked with them. This acceptance paradoxically kept her looking youthful, because she radiated confidence rather than fear. Seniors who embrace aging with dignity often appear far younger than those who dread every wrinkle. Confidence, after all, is more ageless than any cream or procedure. This mindset is accessible to everyone. You don't have to be on the cover of Vogue to reinvent yourself at 60, 70, or even 90. You just need to believe that life isn't finished with you yet. Start small. Take a class, join a group, or revisit a passion you put aside years ago. Each new challenge you embrace strengthens your brain and refreshes your outlook. For example, consider Ruth, a 68-year-old who had never painted before. After retiring, she decided to try art classes at her local community center. At first, she doubted herself, but soon she discovered not only a new skill but also a circle of friends who inspired her. She said she hadn't felt that alive in decades. This simple act of reinvention gave her a new lease on life. Carmen's mindset proves that reinvention is the secret to staying young. When you stop growing, you start aging. But when you remain open, adaptable, and curious, your mind and spirit stay vibrant. If self-care is the foundation and mindset is the structure, then connection and purpose are the roof that protect and complete the house of graceful aging. For Carmen Dell'Orefice, it's not only about looking beautiful or reinventing herself. What truly sustains her is her continued connection to the world around her and the deep sense of purpose she has found through her work and relationships. Without these, even the strongest habits and mindset would feel incomplete. Human beings are wired for connection. Neuroscience shows that social bonds stimulate the release of oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone, which reduces stress, improves mood, and strengthens the immune system. Seniors who remain connected to loved ones and communities consistently report higher levels of happiness and health than those who live in isolation. Carmen has lived much of her life in the public eye, but her ability to form genuine relationships and stay active in her industry is one of the reasons she continues to thrive at 92. Purpose works in a similar way. Studies reveal that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, healthier lives. Purpose gives the brain a reason to keep growing, keeps the body active, and creates emotional resilience. Carmen's purpose has always been more than fashion. While modeling was her career, her deeper purpose has been to demonstrate dignity, elegance, and possibility at every stage of life. She shows the world that beauty is not about age, it's about presence and spirit. Consider the alternative. Imagine two seniors of the same age. One withdraws from social circles, stops seeking new experiences, and begins to feel invisible. The other stays engaged, attends community events, takes up volunteering, and nurtures family bonds. A decade later, the difference is striking. The first feels older, lonelier, and weaker, while the second feels alive, valued, and youthful. Carmen's life clearly illustrates the second path. She stayed connected to her passions and to people, and that connection gave her longevity. It's not always about having a glamorous career. Connection can be as simple as calling a friend, spending time with grandchildren, or joining a book club. Purpose can be found in tending a garden, mentoring younger people, or volunteering at a local charity. What matters is that you feel part of something bigger than yourself. Carmen has often said that she continues modeling not because she needs to, but because she loves inspiring people. That love sustains her spirit. Another element of her story is giving back. Carmen speaks openly about sharing wisdom with younger models and showing the industry that aging is not a limitation. By mentoring others and standing as a role model, she has turned her experience into a gift. Science shows that acts of giving and kindness boost serotonin and endorphins, creating what researchers call the helper's high. In other words, by lifting others, you also lift yourself. This is where seniors can find great strength. You may no longer have the same role you once did in your career or family, but you still have wisdom and presence that matter deeply. Sharing your time, knowledge, or even a kind smile can give you purpose and keep your heart young. Carmen is admired because she never stopped giving herself fully to the world around her. Connection also provides emotional resilience. Life brings grief, loneliness, and change, especially in later years. But when you have people around you and a reason to wake up each day, those difficulties become easier to bear. A phone call, a shared meal, or a small project can anchor you in hope. Carmen shows that aging gracefully isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about facing it with support and purpose. So what do we learn from her story? That self-care keeps the body radiant, mindset keeps the spirit adaptable, and connection with purpose keeps the heart alive. Together, these create a formula for not only looking younger but feeling younger. It's not about erasing wrinkles or denying age. It's about embracing age as a stage of continued growth and contribution. Here's the inspiring conclusion. Aging is inevitable, but decline is not. Carmen Dell'Orefice proves that at 92, you can still glow with elegance, strength, and joy. You can still have purpose, still inspire others, and still live each day with dignity. Her life is a reminder that you are never too old to care for yourself, to reinvent yourself, and to stay connected to what matters most. For seniors listening today, remember this. Your age is not your limit, it's your badge of wisdom. Like Carmen, you can walk into any room with confidence, knowing that you have cultivated beauty inside and out. Whether you are 62, 72, or 92, you can carry yourself with strength, purpose, and independence. And that is the secret to looking, and more importantly, feeling, decades younger than your years.